All right, hey everybody, Sebastian Maniak here. I just felt like doing a little stream. Had a great conversation with one of my Fortinet friends who's at Fortinet now, and I'm like, let's kind of kick this off. So, really, what I wanted to kind of talk about is how you can orchestrate and automate stuff with Fortinet, either be it Ansible or ServiceNow. And I'm like, why not? Let's just kind of make a quick video on what we can do. So let's kind of jump into the environment itself. Uh, so really what I'm going to do is first, I'm going to use Terraform um, itself to spin up this environment. And this environment sits in AWS, where we're going to create this really secure VPC. And we'll have this Fortigate that has public and private access. We'll create this gateway load balancer, and all traffic that hits this customer VPC. Um, any traffic that needs to come is actually going to get redirected or routed to this gateway load balancer, which is going to hit our Fortigate for inspection. And then it's going to be sent out to our specific EC2 instance, or the same way if there's any outbound traffic that has to be routed this from this device. It wants to connect to the internet. It's going to hit our FortiGate firewall for inspection. Then it's going to get routed out to the internet itself, or the internet gateway itself. So let's jump into VS Code here. And show you how this looks like. So the first thing we did is inside of our GitHub repo. You can see this. Inside of our GitHub repo, we deployed the environment with Terraform. So let me just shrink this and make it look nicer here. There we go. So we deployed Terraform. We use Terraform to deploy the typical environment. And pretty straightforward. We can click on it again here just so you can see it. We have our customer VPC, 2 availability zones, AZ1, AZ2. All the traffic gets inspected by this Fortigate device. So when we deploy this environment, the first thing we have to do is we have to log in and create the authorization, or the REST API token itself. So let me open up Chrome here. The browser, Google Chrome. All right, perfect. So open up Chrome and make this a little bigger. So we're going to log into the Fortigate device that we just deployed. We're going to use the default password, and we're going to set new credentials for this device. So really what we want to do is if I open up my iPad here, really what we want to do for this is we're going to deploy Juice Shop in here, which is just a vulnerable web application. And we want to have traffic that comes from our internet to be able to hit this Fortigate for inspection and go out. And we want to build this entire environment using Terraform. And then we want to manage the policies, maybe using Ansible itself. So the first thing we have to do is, once we spin up the environment, is create REST API keys. So let's just click on next. Okay. Now click on OK. So first thing we're going to do is click on System, Admin Profiles. We're going to create a new admin profile, just Ansible orchestration. We're just, for this demo, we're going to give a read access here. If you want anything, this demo that I'm running for is called AWS Lab in my GitHub repo. Feel free. It's inside of one of my chats here, or inside of my on Twitter. So we're going to create this admin profile. Then we have to create a user. So we're going to create a REST API admin user here. Just going to name Ansible. We're going to select that profile we created. We're going to select the VDOM we belong to. We're going to press OK. We're going to copy this API key. We're going to need this. We're going to click on Close. So when we take a look at the environment and we go to Fortigate here, we can click on the policies. And right now we have, I think, no policies deployed. Takes a couple seconds here to load. Perfect. So we have zero policy deployed. So as traffic, if we enable any traffic that comes through this environment, let me just unlock this, it's going to get denied. This FortiGate's going to block it because we have no NAT policies in here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create an Ansible playbook that allows us to deploy this. So let's open up VS Code. In here, we're going to just get into the Ansible directory. Make this bigger. So the first playbook that we have in here, playbook 01, is a playbook that defines the address groups. So this is just going to define the address groups that we've built with our Terraform script. And once we apply this configuration, it's going to just set the configuration on our Fortigate device itself. But before we do this, we have to deploy our hosts file. So our hosts file has all the information about all the Fortigate devices we have. So the first thing we need to put is our management IP address of this device. We'll save that file. And then the next thing we need to do is we want to create a secret. So we have that API token that was generated. We want to use Ansible Vault to store that in a secret place. So it's encrypted, so we don't have anything in clear text, really. And the way we do it is if we open up this README file, once you install Ansible, it's pretty straightforward. We want to execute this command. Let's just clear this. So here's the command we want to execute. Oh my goodness, that's clear. But the one thing we're going to do is we're going to replace this string and this from the one that was deployed on our Fortigate devices. So let me just grab that. API key that was generated for me. Perfect. So I'm just going to place that key here and copy this code in here. So really what I'm doing is I'm creating Ansible Vault and I'm encrypting this API string with the name Fortigate token. Then it's going to ask me for some credentials for my vault. I'm going to make a password. Then it outputs this data for me, right? So this encrypted string. I want to take this encrypted string, copy it, and I already have a secrets.yaml file. I'm just going to replace it and save this configuration in here. So the next step is I want to create that address group or create that address group itself. So what we're going to do is, it's clear, we're going to execute Ansible playbook towards that host file that we have, and we're going to ask for that password. So now I can type in my password, going to make the changes on our device itself. Oh, it looks like it didn't match any hosts, so let's take a look at that host file itself. Make sure we got the right credentials here. Perfect. Save. Oh, that's the problem. Look, see, I put .ini. That's what I called it. So we have hosts.ini here. So we want to make sure it's hosts.ini. Let's try that again. There we go. So it gathered all the information, grabbed the secret from Vault, and created that address group. So when we jump into our device here, and we go to our VDOM and policies, address groups, we can really see that address group here get created itself. So it's pretty simple to be able to create playbooks. So other than creating playbooks with address groups or defining other playbooks like creating outbound policies using Ansible is pretty straightforward for us here. Now we can define this outbound policy and where we create a task that we have the interfaces and the sources, and we could literally just execute this deployment itself. So if we go to VS Code, we can go to playbook 01 and make those changes. So once that really happens and editing these playbooks, we can go back to our screen and we can see that these policies are deployed for us. So here's kind of that quick guide, a quick stream on how to make this happen. Feel free to hit up this Git repo. Pretty simple to get to, Maniac Academy, github.com/Maniac Academy, and try it out yourself.